Buddy. How's everybody doing? Hey, Eric.
Hello, hi chat. How is everybody?
How's everybody doing? We want to show you all the background real quick. Well, I do. If I can. Come on. Come on, computer. It's not listening to me. Again, come on. Come on, computer. Am I lagging? Because
No, that's on my phone. I forgot to turn the volume down.
I want to make
I
sure.
chat, I chat on my phone because I can't on my computer.
I'm gonna have to show you. It's very easy. It really is. Hey KJ, hey Diana, hey Terry Queer. I think that's how you say it. I always feel bad if I say it wrong.
I know, right? I do too. I'm always hesitant to say it because I feel like
I know. So I just want to get that out. I'm sure you've dealt with this before. It's like my name is Kresha, and I get called everything but. Hey Kathy, thank you for being here and moderating as always. You do a stunning, amazing job, and I never thank you enough. Thank you. Nettie, also. Sandwillow, Beach Bum, Kathy, KJ, and the Sister Donka. Thank you so much. I still have to email you back. I could have swore I pushed send. I do this a lot. I go and I'm harassed, and so I don't get to finish exactly what I'm trying to say, and so I jump to something else, and then I forgot. Probably, I still need to go back and look. Sister Donka has some books that she would like to donate.
Oh yeah, cool.
So it's really, really awesome of her. I'm so excited. Little Brands, Tina Reddington. Nice to see you, beautiful. Let's see. I just sound like Oprah. Everybody look under your chair. Hey, Marie Burks. Beach Bum's icon always reminds me of Tylee, because Tylee, I actually have a drawing that Tylee did, her and Vasea. I have a sketch pad, and there was the summer of 2016, and she drew a sea turtle, and then there's that picture with her in yellow with the sea turtle. So it always reminds me of Tylee. Yeah. Hey, Breaking Crime with Biggie. I'm just scrolling to see here. Bless you.
So what's going on with you?
I'm scrolling. Okay. All right. Now I got to the top. Now I get to go back to the bottom.
They see me scrolling.
I don't recall. Is in the chat too. Also, thank you for being here. Rowan to you. Thank you for Rowan to here. I got wisecracks too, buddy. I wonder where Pops Mafia is. Hey, Liz Johnson. How are you doing? Yeah. Oh, well, don't comment. Don't comment, Liz. Drive. Keep your hands on the wheel.
Pops hasn't. He hasn't. Of course, it's not like I've been blowing my channel up, putting videos up either. But he hasn't. I haven't seen him on the last 3 I put up.
Oh.
Hi, Missy. Hi, everybody in chat.
I know. I always get worried when I don't see, like Julson. I haven't seen her in a while, so I worry. Hi, Missy Zer. Oh, I'm just saying Missy Z. And Donna Donald. I have it in my ear. Okay, well, I won't scream. Love Light. Laura Nelson. I've missed one. I know I did. Stephanie B. Stephanie here. Stephanie here. She's always got good. Everybody has good insight. Laura, that's who I missed. Laura, welcome to my insanity.
Hey, on the count of 3, let's both scream really, really loud.
No, it's gonna blow out her eardrum. That's a conspiracy. No, I always feel bad because I always cough or clear my throat because I'm a chronic throat clearer. Uncle Charles was too, big time. It's the Vallow thing. Like when you listen to Ray Hermosillo's testimony or anybody's testimony from the preliminary hearing of Chad, you will hear my mom go, I'm like, hey, Coco. Mama. Hey, Harley62. Nice to see you. Did you
Harley, hi.
have your address so that I can, I'm sorry, I had feedback. So that I can send bracelet. It's just Robbie's here. Awesome.
It's just Robbie.
It's my buddy Robbie. Stick gal. Oh my gosh. Stick gal sick. The other day, KJ was reading the names off, and she does it so it's just second nature to her. And she was reading it off, and somebody had like a very derogative handle name. And I was like, oh, it took me a minute for it to register. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, wow. So I'm going to laugh at that now. Because it was, I laughed then and I'm laughing now. It was funny.
That's a good fun when you think about them a few days later and still chuckle. That's kind of like.
God dang it. Got her. Rona Z. I just want to thank everybody for being here. Okay. Now there's two Missies, and both last names are hard to pronounce. So Missy Z and Missy R. Hi, welcome, J Gaz Mom, Carol M. Thank y'all, Carol M. Patty Taylor, Rose. All right, so I don't know. We really don't. El Mom was gonna be here, but she has a big project to work on. Hey, Paisley. So that, of course, schoolwork always comes first. For a family, schoolwork. I've always told Jen that, please don't ever. That comes because then I'll be pissed off if she doesn't do her schoolwork. That's first. Hi, my McJet. How you doing? So I don't know. I really just was like thinking. I'm sorry, my nose. I was thinking since the hearings and everything, how you just kind of take things into, you just kind of mull them over and reflect upon them. And I was just like, I wonder what it was like for Lori to be just wherever she is, and mentally and physically and spiritually stretching. What was it like for her to see the way the court cases were handled, to see the way her husband, number 5, how he, his defense. I'm sorry, I'm used to football. Defense. But to see how it was to see them turning his back on her. That's got to be like the ultimate mother bleep,
I would have to to think or believe that. I mean, at minimum, Means has told her. I don't know. I don't know if Archibald has even had, any more sit downs with her other than him telling her that, Means wasn't going to be there anymore. I don't know.
Right. I left my TV up. I'm like, it's very loud in here. I'm the only one.
I can play it out in my head like everybody else. I mean,
can't you just see her
as spiteful as she is? I can see her coming right out the gate and taking a deal just to burn Chad.
That's it. That's exactly what I think. And I wanted to know what everybody else thinks. I know everybody else has reflected off of this over, since the court hearings happen. And so, yeah, if they do it with you, then they'll do it to you. I love it. That's word.
Drop the mic.
Right. Yeah. Can you imagine having done everything that you've done and then realizing it was only just a dream?
Yeah. I mean,
right.
Not to her level and his level that they went to, but yeah, I mean, I totally get it. I mean, it's going to be a hard pill for her to swallow. And what'll be even more fun to watch is to watch them squirm when they're still.
Yeah, who? It reminds me of a country song, and I like all music. Who's cheating who, and who don't even care anymore. I don't know the.
Who's being true? I can think of the words
Yeah,
like I mean, the name of
don't care anymore.
yeah.
I don't know. It's just like that song just plays in my head, and I'm just like, exactly.
Yeah.
Who even cares anymore? And that. Thank you, Arona Z. Thank you for everyone keeping the sad story alive. Justice will be served. That is my job. That is my role in this. That's my family, and I love them. I made a vow to them, so that's why I do this. I know it's not always entertaining. Trust me. I mean, I was just like, I don't even know what to talk about today. I always just talk about everything. So I don't like to just pinpoint one thing. I'm not going to stay on it. This is my life. This is my reality now. It has impacted every aspect of my existence today. Alan Jackson. Yeah.
It was Alan Jackson. Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah. I couldn't think of the name.
I can't either.
But yeah, that's it. I don't know. It's just, again, I'm not, I'm working through a lot of CPTSD issues. This has caused that in my life. And I'm just not getting to where I can talk and kind of make sense and make a complete sentence, a complete thought. It's not all the time. And it's few and far in between, but at least I see that now. I didn't see that before.
Right.
Now this never stops. Never. And I found some grays today. I mean, I've been having them, but I was like, well, that one's kind of bold right there. That one's just like, hey, look at me. Don't forget about me. Anyways, yeah, I think so too. KJ, Lori watched the hearing and realized she ain't the queen. This is the queen of my double wide trailer. I guess I put everything to songs, although YouTube frowns upon that. So it sucks.
I know that
they're tied.
She watched one of the hearings. Did she watch another one too? I honestly don't remember. I swear I don't. I know she watched that one because they said it was her homework. But then I don't know if she watched any after that.
I think so, because there was that last hearing prior to this one when Archie was in.
That was the last.
It was in the very beginning, and then he didn't come back. Well, the hearing before that, so back in January, he said, she's watching this now, and also I have to get and talk to my client. Like I will have to talk to her. Something to that effect. Not verbatim, but always with me. It's always just, I can pluck it, but I can't always, on the spot tell you exactly where it is. But it was in the last hearing before this, before he came up.
In the March 18th hearing that we had, you're talking about?
Yeah, where he just was in the very beginning.
Okay, that was the last
one. The very last one.
Yeah.
It was the last time prior to that one was January.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. That's when he said that she was watching. And that's when everybody blew their freaking gaskets.
Right.
Because we had heard it, from all the discovery and the Mark Means stuff. So I've got to say, I'm grateful for that part of Mark Means. I'm grateful for in that aspect, where other people may be, attributing and or monkey wrenching by thrusting themselves into this case. Right. That bothers me. And that,
I'd be telling you a bold-faced lie if I told you that I didn't miss all of his filings, because
yeah,
yeah, we had a lot of fun with them.
we learned a lot. We,
And we learned a lot. We
and you
actually did. Yeah.
now that I'm starting to know how to navigate around the paperwork a little better, because I mean, that's like, here ye, I don't give a shit. Just tell me what I need to know. You know how I am. I'm like, but what are you sending me, Eric? I don't where do I look? What are you telling me? I don't get it.
I know.
So that's just not my strong suit, and that is yours. But you kind of, I run across my files and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah. And so I'll look in it and I'm like, oh, they really tell you all this stuff. Even Rob Wood, when they're disputing the defense or whatever defense. Anyways, that's where you're like, okay, if you read between all those little lines, then it's a little more insight. And I've always found that you can read a news story, or I'm sorry, hear a news story, but when you read it, there's a lot more in there. I don't know. I used to never pick up on anything like that.
And that's why I've gone from, just well, I wouldn't say a normal YouTuber, because I'm not, my channel isn't normal.
You're not normal.
I don't do lives, and I use music in mine, but I've gone from that to, and very few people that I watch on YouTube, and I basically don't go off of anything except the next document that they put out,
right?
Because that way I know it's bang bang boom on sign on the dotted line, and
It's in black and white, right?
Yeah, I mean,
my personal opinion is that, of course, yes, when Pryor said, I don't see any whatever, what do you call that, papers, transport. Yeah. Okay, because legally, if y'all think about it, that mental health facility is liable. This is a liability thing. This is where it gets a little technical, and because my mom and dad owned a transportation company, I kind of understand. I kind of see that. I worked for them for years. But basically, the mental health facility is 144,000% liable for Lori Daybell. It's like a chain of command, a chain of custody, like whenever they go, if and when she is competent. This is just a hypothetical thing. Don't take me literal. But if and when she's competent, whenever they have to do all the paperwork stuff, right? There's a lot of crap in there. You don't just get out, it's not as easy as we think.
Well, we should surprise the chat and tell them that they're going to get to see exactly what terminating commitment and a
looks like.
Order looks like.
Not for Lori, though. It's not for Lori.
No,
but
it's not for Lori. It's not for Lori. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
It's okay. No, because we're going to build to that. I really wasn't building. I was just talking. But basically, whenever all the paperwork is finalized and everything's good, and they have the van there or whatever, we'll call it the jail force one there to pick her up of the portal. And
Uber's ready.
They'll pick, then they'll have to release their custody over to law enforcement, and then they'll have to rebook her back into the jail, and our Vine alerts will go off. Liz Johnson, I just want to go and hug you. Jesus Christ.
Liz Johnson. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you. That's so nice and very thoughtful. And thank you. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. Anyways, thank you. But that's how you're making me see, Liz, what you did. I was talking normal, now I'm not.
Got her all tongue twisted, Liz.
The jail force one. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
I just
And she
I
said to pronounce her name like rain. RAIN a while ago.
okay, rain. I like that. That's pretty. And yeah, the jail force one. That does sound good. I could be in marketing. I don't really know how to do it. I can just come up with some stuff though. Oh my God, KJ. Okay. I'm just gonna sit here. Thank you. God dang it. Thank you. Very much. I love you. I love y'all. Thank you. Just means it just, I don't know. So generous. It's so generous and thoughtful and kind. But what else do I expect from these people? Y'all are great. Just mentally, emotionally, spiritually, legally supportive. Y'all are morally supportive. Everything that I want to see in the world is in this chat. Everybody here are the people that I want, at the front line. And y'all are. Y'all are at the front line. And that's really cool. Really cool. I have some really awesome angel family members that Lori hasn't exploited yet. Well, I lie. That's not truthful.
Kresha crew members.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine Kresha? I used to get picked on by this little boy, Victor, that I grew up with. He was my next door neighbor. And he'd say, Kresha, go crush me some ice. And I was like, But if I were a boy, they were going to name me Brandon. I was like, how do you go from Brandon for a boy to freaking Kresha? Huh? It was the 70s, though. And it was my dad's idea. So can't blame it on like pregnancy drugs at the, when you're giving birth. Can't blame it on that. I'm just like, whatever. My nanny, my mom's mom, Uncle Charles's mom, she called me KK. I got called KK. Yeah. I don't remember her ever saying my name. She didn't like my dad.
I started calling you KK early because that's what she was telling me. But she called you KK.
I would have been a Brandon too. I know, right? And I'm like, okay, Brandy. Okay, right? If you're a girl, then Brandy would be, right, Brandy? Like little brands? You would, one would think. Thank you, San Willow. Y'all are so nice. Thank you. Y'all put me on the spot. I need to be like Gray Hughes and have the little dancing thing to go across. Yeah, did y'all see him on Court TV? Gray Hughes Investigates, right?
I didn't. No, I'm not sure.
It's really cool. It was really good to see somebody in the community be recognized. Because he's not an exploiter. He's not exploitive, and he doesn't, from what I know, and he's the very first one who my parents talked to about this. It was right as it broke nationally, globally, whatever, worldwide, but nationwide for sure.
It was. I remember watching it.
It was good. Those, yeah. Man.
What was he doing on Court TV? I didn't know anything about it.
It was for, I don't know how to say her last name, but the girl who was
it wasn't the Delphi girls?
Naomi, maybe?
Naomi.
I don't know how to say her last name. That's actually the first time I actually listened to. I was watching Court TV before they chop it up into pieces,
Yeah.
Sorry, no pun intended to that. Anyways,
I think it's Irion or
yeah.
I screw it up every time I try to type it.
Yeah, I don't want to do it any injustice.
IRION, however you say that.
Thank you, San Willow. Gray Hughes was good the other night on the Nevada case. Okay, it is in Nevada. I started watching him when he did the breakdown on Jodi Arias. Oh, okay, so you've been with him since we came in, really? Because he was the first YouTuber that, covered. That's how I discovered YouTube. You're just, everything was happening so fast. I was just like, okay, I got to get an account for this. I got to get an account for that. Okay, I need a handle name for this. Whatever, I don't care. And I didn't realize, like, that's how narrow-minded I was back then.
Oh, none of us did. I didn't.
Just
I didn't have a clue.
freaking oblivious to my surroundings, period. Unless anything directly affected me or, pissed me off, that'd be the only time you'd hear from me. Other than that, I'm just walking through life popping bubbles and shit. I miss that, but then I don't.
Gray's good at what he does, man. I mean,
he pinpointed it in the map, in the app. I don't know. And he did like he said something about the shadows at that time of day. And then they were able to law enforcement was able to apprehend the suspect the next day or so. But he didn't, he wasn't taking credit for it, but he was just like, it is kind of weird, Yeah. They do watch, they do pay attention. They are amongst us, just as much as those that, the Zalemas and her daughter. I mean, I've caught her daughter in my comments already. So they're here too. And that's awesome.
I'm a
Just hit subscribe and click the notifications to all. On all your accounts. Help the channel grow.
I went and was scoping out Google Earth and that Walmart and went up and down the road and took a couple, 3 pictures and put it on Twitter the other day. But
you did it for Big E. I remember like him saying stuff about Knott's Berry Farm, right?
Yeah.
Because that is where the Daybell siblings went with their dad and their new stepmom for vacation.
Low.
Cookies and vacations. So, but I'm sure that wasn't set up.
I think how many days was it that Lori actually stayed there, and then she ended up going on to Hawaii or somewhere after that? Or am I dead wrong on that? God, it's been so long.
I think that's when the Rexburg Police Department went, oh, god dang, there's some knots up in there. Anyways, when the cops went and did the wellness check, November 26th. I wish they wouldn't have caught him, but then was it tactic? I really feel like they already knew at that point that the kids were gone. I felt it, in December. But I didn't want to lose hope. You don't want to lose hope ever. Right. You just want to you'd rather be wrong about your intuition than to know that it's right.
Right.
Because that is very, yeah. That just triggered me to that lady, that the mom of the daughter, where Gray was on court TV. Gray Hughes was on court TV. This was Friday. And the girl's mom, the girl who was abducted, what's her first name again? Naomi. I don't know how to say her last name, but she was abducted in the Walmart parking lot. I don't really know it, so y'all don't. But anyways, her mom came on court TV, and it triggered me, because you go back to that, just I want her home. We wanted the kids home. That's it. It's just, you go back to that sentiment, that time, and it's very, hard because you don't want to tell her to give up at all. You know, without hope and faith. Oh my God, KJ.
Yeah, and you
Thank you.
know the thing about that, you're right. You don't want to lose hope. What you do, or at least what I
Or for them, for us,
do,
like, yeah,
you know, pray for the best and prepare for the worst. I mean,
exactly.
it's not gonna end well.
I
It's
mean, most of the time, no. You know, and think about Michael Vaughn, Monkey. He
8 months
really, they
today.
really do today, 8 months today.
8 months today. Yes, ma'am.
That's just sad. It's so sad, and I just don't feel like it's I see I see the mom, his mom, and you know, it just doesn't. I don't get any bad vibes off of her, or whatever. I'm into vibes, okay, in my gut feeling. I don't. You know, she's not acting sketchy or shady like Laura.
Armchair detective coming out of you.
No, that's experience now. And that is experience. I'm like, oh, there's Antichrist right there. I mean, Auntie. Oh my God, I just thought of that. Because Lori was my aunt. Lori was my auntie, my auntie. Antichrist. That she was.
Yeah.
Very anti-Christ. Woo, shame on you, girl. I've always called her Auntie-Satan, Aunt Satan. Aunt Laura whore. Whatever. She's just a piece of shit. Anyways, that is my opinion.
POS.
Piece of shit. Earmuffs, whatever.
Well, I was kind of Johnny come lately for Naomi's case because I seen where Trisha had a thumbnail up, but
Yeah.
I'd never even seen the girl's name. And when I seen the last name on her thumbnail, I didn't watch it because I didn't think it was anything that, I would be interested in. And then I think it was on Crime Online or somewhere where I seen the actual the footage of the Walmart footage, and I'll be daggone if it didn't hook me. I mean, hook,
Right.
line, sinker deep, and I've been checking every flipping hour, waiting to I had been to see if anybody would get arrested or not, and sure enough, it was either early Friday morning California time or Vegas time, or late my time, East Coast time, because I woke up Saturday morning and I'd been up for a couple hours, but I've been trying to pull back on weekends, not really, not doing a whole lot. But I did. I opened up the computer and I flipped on Google and clicked on her
There
name.
you went.
They had arrested somebody, and I was like, wow. That all happened while I was asleep. But that Troy Driver is that guy's name. 41 years old. He was a construction worker. I never did. After I seen his truck from the pictures from the Daily Mail, I never did think for a second that it was a homeless person, because hell, it's a $25,000 or $30,000 truck.
I have like a tent city, real tent cities. They are real. They're called homeless people.
Right.
Not people preparing JS.
Well, I thought for several days, and I even asked somebody on Twitter, I don't remember who now, but I thought that was actually Naomi's car pulling into the parking lot and parking there with the headlights on, but that's not.
No, that's what's creepy about it.
That blew me away when I just
for
found
y'all,
out.
so y'all would know what the hell we're talking about. I can, I guess, right?
What?
Can I play the clip from Court TV? Do y'all want to see it? You can see Gray Hughes on there too, and that's what I was, getting at pretty much. I don't know. It's up to y'all. But we also have this that Eric has been. I think it was pretty crafty. I was like, wow, that's an interesting perspective. It's the orders of what it looks like whenever in Idaho, right?
Right.
Whenever someone is leaves a mental health facility and goes back into the chain of custody, to the jail.
Yeah,
it was just an example.
It's the actual
Oh my God, thank you, Sarah.
termination of commitment order and the transport order is what they are. I ordered them back in early March, and I got them March 14th, but
Yeah.
I didn't really start reading them until today.
Yeah.
And there's some, we can't go off of this stuff, guys, just so everybody knows. I don't want don't think, this is for Lori or anything like that. It's
right.
strictly
It's not indicative of that. It's just,
it was my curiosity. And
where-
I ordered, I think, 9 documents. And to be quite honest with you, I wasn't expecting it to be 60 flipping pages, but it was. And so I ended up chucking out $62 in total to get them. And really, there's only about 3 of them that I even consider what I would, what we're interested in. And that's basically the terminating commitment order and the transport order.
right.
Which
just to be educated about it.
Right. And that's yeah. And at least because I did learn some things today from it. As far as, I would have never thought that the transport order would be signed before the termination of commitment order, but this judge did it. So I was kind of blown away by that. And then, everybody will get to see the whole, like you was talking about, the chain of command of getting her or getting going from the hospital to the jail and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some may like it and some may hate it, but like I said, it's not for Lori, y'all. It's just another case that, I only because I wanted to see exactly or somewhat how it actually all worked.
Yeah. It's just to get an idea. Not every situation is going to be the same. If she's a woman, she goes to Madison County versus whatever. What's that? Fremont County. Isn't that weird that I'm sorry. Isn't it weird that I'm Lori? Oh yeah. It's not the right shade of jolly rancher.
What was it she had in her container on her bathroom counter? Lip buffer or lip?
Yeah, it's probably to get the dead skin off your lips.
I forget what it was called now.
Scrub. I don't know. She needs some preparation H because she constipated. She constipated. Is my hearing okay, guys? I mean, my sound, not my hearing. Duh. That was stupid. I've been way back in chat. What the hell? Thank you, Fish Face. And I was just about to bring attention to the comment. Fish Face 123ism had put weird. Lori's dad mentioned Knott's Berry Farm and divorce of Melanie's mom, Stacy, and Steve Cope, and that he had taken them to Hawaii. It's so crazy the idiosyncrasies. I think that's a big word for me to say, and not really know the definition. I think so. I think that's what it is. But anyways, the same patterns. I mean, I have a copy of a resume here that's not Lori's, but it looked like she wrote it. Just like it seemed like Barry would write all Lori's paperwork up, for LaGoya.
William.
Number 2, Colby's dad. What's his first name? Damn.
William
LaGoya. LaGoya. Everybody say it with me. LaGoya.
I always butcher his spelling too.
Say it with me now. That's and I'm working on this multiple. Thank you, Fish Face. I wanted to say that too. I'm sorry. Thank you. You guys are great. I have to watch tomorrow though. Oh, we'll be here tomorrow though too. Hope so. God willing. Still flipping. Oh, I want to be there painting. That you're the one that's painting.
Yeah, she's painting her kitchen. She said.
Well, I love painting. I miss it. Like I used to. Oh, I'm such a tomboy. I swear.
Beach Bum. I didn't see Beach Bum. Hi, Beach Bum.
What happened?
Oh, no, I was just saying hi to Beach Bum. I didn't see her slip in.
Oh. What did Missy say? Absolutely. She probably has both girlfriend and boyfriend at the hospital. Mm-hmm. You know the type. I mean, and it's crazy because I don't really watch things like this, but for some reason I did. I watched Big Love back in the day. And I mean, I went back after this stuff happened. I went back and I crammed it every season into a weekend. I mean, now some of it played while I was sleeping, but I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Even though it's still Hollywood, I get it. It's just a better understanding. I love Breaking Bad too. Uncle Charles loved Breaking Bad, but he came in way late.
I have tried. I can't tell you how many times I have tried to like that, but I just
Breaking Bad.
Like it.
I don't know. It caught me in the beginning. Usually, I'm late for everything. Like Sex and the City. I was like,
yeah, that's me. I'm always, Johnny come lately.
Lately, yeah. Pinch poke, give me a Coke. Anyway, I know, and so, but for once, I was ahead, and then Mom heard about Breaking Bad, and then Uncle Charles came into town, and he talked to me the whole weekend. Everything was about Heisenberg, and he cracked me in his shirt. He cracked me up about this, and I was like, I know, yeah, okay, I entertained him like you do your elders, your uncle. Yeah. But I just thought it was funny. But anyways, so like Big Love and Breaking Bad, but what was I going to? I forgot. No. Oh, what?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No, I thought you were going to say that you interrupted me. And I was like, no, you didn't.
I just wanted to tell you what
Oh, did I overclick?
Yeah, I wanted to answer.
You're supposed to read my mind.
Let me hang on, KJ. We're like two monkeys trying to bang a football up here.
Football bat.
I can tell you through the grapevine or it's not on
the street,
not the gossip line.
It's on the street.
I was actually told that she hasn't taken any meds.
I thought we had to force her because the judge had to sign off, and I was like, because it was like 3 months into it, and I'm like, you're telling me that they haven't had her on her in meds?
I know.
And for 3, are you serious? I thought that was just an understanding. You go there, you get well. You don't sit there and what do they call it? Oh, I say this to my bonus son Silas, because you don't negotiate with a terrorist. I mean, he's young and he likes to, anyways, that's just toddler talk, but it's the same principle. I don't argue with a terrorist. She's a damn terrorist. She's terrorized the hell out of my life. That's for sure. My family. So why would anybody want to negotiate with her? It should just be an understanding. She's in state care. She needs help. What do they do? Sit her in a corner with a dunce cap on her head?
I don't disagree with you at all. I don't. That's just
feed her
pudding. There's no way in this world I can confirm it, but I'm just telling you that's what I've been told.
That's what I think right there. That's a good. I'm pointing the wrong way. Imagine Lori thinks she's at a yoga retreat, and right, because we see that in her. Let's not call it an interrogation. Let's just call it I've had job interviews more intensive and invasive than that. I walked into an interview one time to be a deputy clerk. I got the job. I lost the job too. I've been a shitty person. Anyways, just no. Anyways, yeah, I've been irresponsible. Let's just say that. And anyway, so I'll go into my interview, and it's for two judges, right? And Judge Quirk and Judge Hood here in the city court in Lake Charles. And they were both in their robes. I was like, okay, a little intimidating, huh? You know? So I just went there like, fake it till you make it kind of thing, you know? I don't know. Wing it. It's intimidating. Yeah. I mean, a lot of things I don't exactly know, but yeah, I just have to pretend like it. It's all about how you carry yourself. I've worked in in the refineries around here. It's about 95% male. So it's basically when you're a female working in that environment, you know what environment you're putting yourself in, right? So you can't be like, oh, it's sexual harassment because it's there. I mean, come on. You're putting yourself in that environment. I'm not saying anybody deserves sexual harassment. I'm just saying, come on, you know, just think about it a little bit. And so I know there's going to be some sort of basically, let me put it in this sense, kind of like how dogs are, you know, they mark territory. Anyways, but it's all in how I carried myself. You don't know how many people, how many guys came up to me. It was my first time working a turnaround. So I was really just looking at a clipboard and I was looking up at all the things going on. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. You know, it's crazy, but everybody's just working together and different team, you know, different skills and crafts and everything. And I had 3 different people walk up to me and say, are you the superintendent? Are you safety? Are you? And I was like, no. You know, I'm a peon. I'm a nothing. I'm a nothing burger. You know, but Larry said, did you say, yeah, go give me a Coke? I was like, I don't know why I didn't think about it, but no, it's all in how I carried myself, you know? It's fake it till you make it. It's the way I dress. It's the way I walk through there. Like, my mom's kind of like that too, now that I think about it. But anyways, I know that went way off topic, but that's a little bit about myself. Same thing.
You're fine.
I don't understand why they would give her 3 months to jerk our chains and not give her the medication that she so obviously needs. And don't need. If she don't need it, then come on back, baby.
The only reason that I mentioned that, and I've seen a couple people blow a gasket, and please, guys, I'm not saying that.
Your opinion.
Well, right. Well, no, it's what I was told. It's not even my opinion, but
he's just sharing the word on the street.
Yeah,
take it however you will. It's not fact.
Right.
This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm gonna do like Fruit Loop does.
For me to know anything like that, or for anybody else to know anything like that, would be violating every daggone law you can think of.
Then don't. I don't know.
And I don't think that's
I don't want anything to affect the integrity of the case.
Right.
Like, I'd rather not know.
And speaking of that, here's a nice segue of that. Did you catch Friday night's blowout on Twitter between me and Mark?
No. What happened? Y'all, enlighten us.
Well, he thought it would be smart to make an appearance on Twitter, and he added at Court TV a picture of, I don't know what it was, a horse facing. He's probably putting a cart in front of the horse, I guess, is what. Yeah. Let me send you a picture of it. So
don't worry about the mule going blind. Just load up the wagon, type of deal.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so inappropriate and wild that
This
Oh,
is
like,
yeah, for the audience. This is Big E on Twitter. He's a Twitter totter.
yeah, I'm a Twitter guy. I'm not much of a Facebook.
Woo! I'm talking about every time Mark means, and this is what made me notice him, Eric. You know, I think what got us together or whatever was the thing. It was like an intro I made, and I don't know, it's scary. Mom was like, "Oh my god, it's so dark." I'm like, "Well, so is murder. Murder's pretty freaking dark." You
Well,
know, it was an intro I made. You saw it, and you were like, "Can I share this?" And I was like, "Yeah." At the end, I put Alex Cox sucker.
Alex sucked Cox.
The ending credits were my imagination hard at work, and so
I
check it out.
busted it.
It's in my videos. It is funny. I mean, I go back and look at it, and I'm like, oh my god, the crap I come up with is nuts. But it's therapeutic. So I remember that interaction between us, and then I noticed you always would. It was like you're like a canned response. When Mark Means would tweet, "The air is pretty today," anything, he would just tweet, and Eric would be like, psh, in your face, tweet like an instant tweet back.
A picture of the kids and Charles.
Saying, "Don't forget."
Yeah,
we haven't forgotten.
Or just say something. I'd say something like focus.
This is what you're representing. This is what you're working against. Just, and also with Arizona detectives and stuff, he probably still does.
Yeah. Maricopa DA, she got a good mouthful from me last week, but she resigned. So
yeah, that makes me think, Missy. That makes me think. Missy Bancroft says they're never going to convince her that she isn't a goddess, nor should that even matter. She can think that and still understand what's happening. You're correct.
I agree with that 1,000%. That's why I don't just fall in line with those that say that they call her brainwashed. I mean, what's the name disorder for brainwashed?
Brainwash.
Is there one? I mean, I don't.
Hold on, don't put me on the spot. Let me think. Indoctrinated. I don't know. I mean, I can't. I'd have to look in my phone. But I agree with San Willow put right here. I wonder this. Is it possible, and this is exactly what I think, is it possible that the doc said Lori's competent and the judge is stalling her return to jail? That, or maybe the paperwork thing, like I was saying. You know, they're not gonna have transport papers for Pryor to see if, in fact, they have not done all the paperwork to free her up, to give her to law enforcement to transport her happy ass, her good mental, healthy mental, normal, whatever. I can't name nothing I can say that describes her, because none of that is healthy or normal. Nothing about Lori is healthy or normal. Her competent ass back to jail to come face this trial, to come face what the hell she did, face the facts. Batter up, pun intended. I always say that.
Like I told Means Friday night, because he started throwing that Constitution around and all that, and I said, I literally said, brother, the first word. The Constitution has done exactly what it was put in place for. Hang on,
you have exercised your rights.
The Constitution has done exactly what it was put in place to do: protect the killer's rights. She's done absolutely nothing to abide by it, except when she needed to hide behind it.
Exactly. Use it.
And that's what she's done. Yeah.
Yep. And that sucks. That pisses me off. I mean, the fact that you blaspheme Jesus Christ. That gives everybody the right who believes in Jesus, who believes in God. They have, oh my God, in the worst way, they have blasphemed the Lord. And that should piss everybody off right there. Like, oh my God, really? And then for people, and it's not just them, it's all of them. They all hide behind Christ. And it's fucking gross. It makes my skin crawl. It's so gross. It makes my stomach flip, and it pisses. Like I could just go off, right? Like I kind of am. I'm trying to talk myself off the ledge. It pisses me off. And they're still doing it. I'm going out. I'm thinking of the big picture, because Chad and Lori are at least behind, they're locked up for now. Whatever. They're in custody. The other ones are not. So there's that many more of these byproducts that will come out. Folie et deux. There you go. That would be brainwashing of the masses, though. Because it can be fully. I'm answering Donna's question, y'all. I'm sorry.
I seen that too. That's what I was just reading, because that's,
Folie à deux is folly of two, or madness shared by two, also known as shared psychosis disorder, or SDD. And this is legit. We don't have it in our DSM-5 here in the States, but they do have it like in France and other countries. So it's not actually a disorder. It has to be in the DSM-5. I am pretty sure. This is just me giving my own opinion. I'm not a professional.
Okay. I don't know what is a DSM-5. I have no clue.
It's just the I don't know the acronym. I never know acronyms.
And that last statement said something about shared delusion or something.
Shared delusion disorder.
Okay, now wouldn't Chad have to be signed up for that too, though?
Unless he's the one. He is kind of part of it because of his culture, his subculture. Being from a town that's that immersed in one belief, you understand, right. Where there's the preppers, the dreamers, the influence of the church, the religion, like-minded people in the same area, without reflecting off of a balanced society, I guess you can say, environment.
I didn't know. That's why I asked.
That's something I ran across in the beginning. In the very beginning, I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Kathy said diagnostic guide.
Yeah, it's something that I don't know enough about to really, just talk about it freely like that. But I read a lot on this psychiatric syndrome that Donna's talking about. And I showed Mom and Larry this a long time ago, and they were like, oh my gosh. They were like, wow. I said, it's really crazy because it's usually a brother and a sister, and so then you start thinking, well, shit, they're Chad. Lori and Alex. Her lover / allegedly, I don't know. Brother, lover.
He was talking that way before anybody else.
A brother husband instead of a sister wife. Jason came up with that, and I was like, sometimes you're funny.
We're going to hell. You do know that, right?
In a handbasket. That's what I said when I woke up to the kids being dug up. I was just like, we're going to hell in a handbasket now. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like waking up to your nephew and your cousin being, unearthed out of backyard. Huh?
Pops is in the house.
Hey, Pops. You brought your mafia too? Hey, Bo Peep.
So,
yeah, in Willow put it. The big book of psychiatric diagnosis. Yeah. But we do the 5 here in the States, and like other places, other areas, they do the DSM-10. That meaning there's 10 things in which mental illness can fall under. And I need to educate myself more on this because this is exactly what I want to advocate for. That's my goal. I want to advocate for so many things. I had to hone down on one thing. And then I also watched these documentaries about, it's called Illuminati channel on YouTube. Yeah. And she's very, very, very informative. I like it. But about MLMs, I've been watching a lot about these big churches, these mega churches, your Baptist Reformed. Let's see. It's called Reformed Wiki 2.0. Reformed Wiki 2.0 is the name of the channel. Also, and it's about honest televangelist Joyce Meyer meets Justin Peters. They all basically, like, these like-minded preachers. And if you put that into context of what we're dealing with, we're basically saying if you donate, which is charity to them, if you pay, then you get to play. You get your spot in heaven. That's why I always think of Bruno Mars, locked out of heaven. Because if you don't have your temple recommend, I feel like they lock you out of heaven. And I think that is what drives every one of these people who will not come forward. That's what's holding them. And that's why Lori wanted, I'm either going to murder somebody or give me my temple recommend. I mean, that's big, right? That's a big statement to make for a little girl. And then to get it from a bishop dude who's not very, righteous or moral. Definitely not Christ-centered. It makes me, and I've done a lot of reading, and it doesn't seem to be based. The only Christ that seems to, let me shut up. I don't want to piss anybody off. It really sucks. Hey, Carla.
You want me to go on with Friday night's fun on Twitter?
Yes, thank you. Save it. I'm gonna mute myself.
I got out of order with the. You can show them that picture I sent you of what set everybody off, because it wasn't just me. There was 3 or 4 of us.
I don't have it.
Huh?
I heard it from Pretty Lies and Alibis channel.
I just sent you a text message of it.
I usually have this thing on Do Not Disturb. It's the only way I can get anything done. Let's see. Why can't you show it?
I don't have. It's on my phone. It's not on my computer.
You can email it to yourself. Creon? That's what I'm having to do. Oh. You mean like this?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Steady my arm.
I'll read it. He said, how do you have a trial scheduled, legal proceeding in
without even having an arraignment for the accused of which a trial is scheduled?
So, and he had, what is that? Something in front of the cart? Is that what he's implying?
Horse
in front of the cart, or donkey in front of the.
Yeah, they need each other to roll forward, I would say.
So he added Court TV that, and Friday night got real fun for a minute, and then
that's what I heard.
He started going a bit too far, and I shut it down. And I'm
proud of you.
I'll tell you exactly why, because it wasn't, in my opinion, in my uncollege educated opinion, law opinion, he got way too close to the line that, I'm not so sure he's not trying to bait somebody so he can.
Exactly. Don't talk to them people. I mean, as You can't trust him. He's already used a couple YouTubers. I'm going to say a couple because it's not just one.
Well,
And I'm
Leanne brought that up.
I'm working on exposing the exploiters of my family because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, and it shouldn't happen, but it's happening, and they're anteing up, doubling down. It seems so. It's gross. It's a whole underbelly of being re-victimized again, over and over again.
Yeah,
So
and
I can't wait.
it's amazing. It's amazing to me that he can't take that helmet or shoot that lawyer helmet off of his head long enough just to think of
to remove himself. Right.
Yeah, just to think of
I did too, Maggie.
for just a minute. He can't let it go. He can't let it go.
Right.
And he's not going to.
And again, why does everybody still like say, did Lori come out? Did I miss something? Did Lori come out and call her blue-eyed baby, or was that the Lifetime movie thing? Because everybody's speaking it like it's scripture, like it's word, like it's in the Bible.
Blue-eyed baby?
Yeah, because I don't know. I didn't really watch the Lifetime movie because I couldn't. I heard the first part and I started crying.
No, I don't know anything about blue-eyed baby.
Refers to Mark Means as Lori's blue-eyed baby, I guess, in another life. I don't even know where it came from. That's where I think it came from. Okay, J Gaz mom says I only heard that from a movie. See, and so a lot of people covering this case are using it. It's like fun to coin all these line fire and stuff like that, and I'm just like, this is real life for some people.
I'm guilty of that.
For people, well, I mean, me too. It just, there's more to it. There's more to it.
I know. I know.
You know, there's more to it, and I'm going to put it all together. It's all together now. I'm just screw it. I'm tired of it. And I don't have to sit here and take it. My family doesn't have to take it. Actually, they don't even, I try not to even tell them. That's where I come in. That's where I protect my family. Okay. Because, you know, they don't support this platform. They don't support me and what I'm doing. They're using me, my family, our awful situation, terrible tragedies to step on, to get subscribers, to get clout, to gain, to be on Dateline, to not have to work a full time.
Quit working.
Home.
Yep.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying. I can't say names right now, but I will. It's coming, and so there's your warning. It's I've got. It just sucks that I have to stop what I'm doing to bring light to this case, to, you know, really focus on the things that make up these murders. And I got to stop so I can and check people that are in this community. And it's sick. And I'm done. I'm done. Like,
well, I mean, you got people
flipped on. So there you go.
People making careers off of y'all's back.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You can't stop the books from being written. You can't stop the movies. Yeah, you can't. But you can be counterproductive. I'm not counterproductive. You can be proactive, right? Get ahead of it. You're not going to use my family, and you're not going to use my angel family. You're not going to use Charles, Tylee, JJ, Joe, or Tammy. I'm going to stand up for all of them. So screw it. I don't care. At least I say it. At least I am what I say I am. You know, I don't sit there and gotta pretend like I know everything and not, oh my God, and steal people's work and stuff and make it my own. Or I've even been contacted myself by one of these people and asked if it sounded like something that would be interesting to go in a book. I was like, you've got to be shitting me, right? All right. You want me to write your book? I mean, the book basically writes itself. It's kind of a crazy story, as y'all can see from John Glatt's, you know, point of view, his perspective of it. That's what I see. I mean, it basically writes itself. It's so freaking outlandish, the facts about this story, or not even just the everything. It's got everything included in it. Is I won't up, and it's still going. To corruption. It's gonna touch every little thing. So you're not doing anybody any favors by moving. I mean, that's something you signed up to do, Anyways, I need to shut up because
I didn't know you could finish a book until the story was over, though. That's what's thrown me off.
Just like the Lifetime movie.
Yeah, I know. People are doing it in, 2 or 3
Anything to capitalize, and I get it. But trust me, it's bad enough. I want to stop people outside of this community who are within the Chad and Lori circle, and the Cox family and stuff like that. I don't want them to write a book. Lord knows they all know how to write books. They know how to talk, but nobody fucking talks. Nobody ever talks. Weird, right?
Right.
Kind of fishy. So they like to talk. They never shut up, little brands. They never shut up. So silent and listen. The same letters. You just got to move them around. Yeah. Nice. I mean, just saying, you've got to learn. One would think that people would learn something from this. Listen to Melanie Gibb, how when she turns it around to some self-righteous shit, and she's like preaching at you. I don't need you to preach at me, honey. I need you to look in the mirror and accept that you were 144,000% in this.
Yeah.
And it can be false, and you bought it. Hook, line, and sinker. Done. In my opinion. I'm entitled to that, right? Right? Yep. I hope. Seems like none of the victims ever get to talk. The real victims really don't get to talk. They don't ever get to say nothing.
They really don't. Right. They don't. And then you all really, the only chance you get to say anything would be during a victim's advocate or victim's.
Yeah. And I mean, it's so much bigger than that, it's because it's this part of it. Like I was saying, I didn't finish though. It's bad enough when I'm wanting to work on my multiple mortal probation video that I have basically feel like I've been on undercover for over 2 years of my life. I know more about Mormonism than I do about my own foundational religion. What I was born into. I'm like, I'm asking Jason stuff. And I'm like, what? How many Jesuses do we have? No, one. Okay. So it's a rabbit hole from hell. It's never ending because it's philosophical. It's one's perception, a lot of it, as far as the multiple mortal probations. It's how you take it. And it was preached. It was taught. And if they say, well, we don't teach it now, that doesn't mean that it's not there. That doesn't mean that you don't do it on the, like everything else done. Just throwing that in there. It's the pattern, and it's very noticeable. Just saying. You might want to be a little better at lying about it. Lying to the Lord. You can lie to the Lord, but you're not going to lie to me. I can see right through it. Anyway, maybe it's lying for the Lord. My bad. But when you have to stop what you're doing, this is my way of coping. This is my way of healing, is to find answers. I know that it was just stuff that they cherry picked and then made it, and they perverted it into this other stuff. But it came from somewhere. It came from somewhere and somebody else. And I know that for a fact. And so I go down. I'm like a duck. I'll go all the way down, and I'm not coming back up until I have what I need, what it is. And so I'm not going to rush on this. But also, I mean, as far as the video, that's not the only aspect. There's so many layers also to that side of it. That just happens to be the one I chose. Huh. Jeez. I wish I would have had, visionary gifts. And I'd have been like, yeah, you sure you want to do that? come with me, Bo people. I really did. It's gonna have to be in a series because there is no. I'm not giving it justice. I'm not doing justice for the victims or anybody for that matter to talk about multiple mortal probations from their aspect, that circle, from their aspect, not from mine. I want to see it through their lens, right? Because they still really do believe in this. And so it's not about reincarnation. Everybody just chalks it off and settles on that. And I don't settle. I don't, and I will not settle. I don't settle on the egg thing. I'm not just going to say, oh, it's Xanax. No, I don't know that. There's a lot of stuff in scripture too. A lot of that gets taken out of context with these people, if you haven't noticed. A lot of twisting of the scriptures. Coming at you once, coming at you twice, coming at you 3 times. You can kill them. It says it right here in the Bible. Literally. Little brands, look, straight up. And this is how I know not to put things, not to materialize words. I joked about that. And y'all, I didn't know what the hell a cult was in the beginning. Whole ass or no ass. And so I was so ignorant. I was so ignorant and uneducated. And oh my God. I was like, I'm going to be the Rhea Lemony of the church. You know?
It would be really cool.
Like, that's funny.
To get an interview with her, wouldn't it? That'd be cool.
I
on the show?
On Instagram, but I'll have to. The same people who do the documentary for my parents, it's Annie, and so is her thing. So I might be able to work something through that. I don't care. I'm going all the way. I'm not stopping here. This is, y'all have been with me, not behind me. Y'all are with me, lockstep, and I know that. And I appreciate every single one of y'all for that, for this, for everything that we are doing together. It's not for me. It's not for you. It's for their legacies, for every victim that has been silenced by everything, by families who are having to go through this in any way, shape, or form, and are getting, there's so many layers. Like I said, you get to see the underbelly of the ugly stuff of YouTube and other platforms. It's going to happen no matter what. People are going to exploit you. It's called missing and exploited children for a reason. It's not just exploitation is gross. It's gross. It's just as gross as anything else in this. Nothing like being pimped out by people you're supposed to depend on in your own community.
Mm-hmm.
Not today. And they hadn't been for a long time. But they've got a good following and they make a lot of money. And not today. No, not my family. Hey, Mama. Leah is doing great work. Or you call me Kresha Leah. I'm very confused.
Is that your middle name?
No, it's Kay.
Oh.
Kay.
Yeah. Hi, Kay.
Hey, Mom.
I think it's Leah Remini.
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 And I'll be the Rhea Lemony. That was a joke back in the day, but I said it out loud. I was like, ha, ha, ha. And then I'm like, oh, well, yeah, you kind of might be. You might be that girl. Are you sure? I'm sitting there having these conversations like, are you sure? Because you really are just nothing but a peon down there in South Louisiana. You're not going to make a big dent. Slow and steady wins the race.
Oh,
yeah. I love you, Mom.
Yeah, she
actually pick up the phone today and just call in and say, I love you. So I'm doing it now. I love you, Mom. I miss y'all. I've been undercover for whatever you want to say. I've been researching my ass off.
Oh, I know. You've been buried in it for months.
Right? And I want to come up. I want to come up for air And so it's like, you know how when you go swimming and you maybe when you're younger, whatever, and you dive in and you go way down and then you trying to come back up and you run out of air before you can get to the surface. And you're like, oh my God, kind of thinking that like, I need to get to the surface so I can breathe, right? That's how I feel. And I feel I'm almost there. Like I can see it. I can almost come out the water and just take that big gasp of air and breathe and relax more and do more focus on me and my family that's living, my living family. I miss them. I miss them. I miss us.
Right.
Okay. I do too all the time, Mom. I preach. I am your daughter. I am your daughter. And I'm really a lot like you. And I admire you, Mom. I really do. You made me cry. Damn it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you'd put y'all's picture beside each other before I knew you,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's crazy.
identical. I didn't even, and this probably sounds bad, but it's more to my style of researching. I didn't research you guys at all.
And I mean, right? I haven't researched. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You understand? I mean, if that makes,
Mom introduced me when we went to Rexburg. Mom introduced me to Natalie. And so she was like, Natalie Pulowski. And she's awesome. I love Natalie. We love Natalie. She's great. Very level-headed, very common sense, down to earth person. And so she was asking me, she said, hey, do you have any pictures of your mom when she was younger? And I mean, I was like, sure, I've got 50,000 pictures in my phone at that time. Thank you, Little Brands. Thank you. And so I was like, sure, but it takes me a while to get to things, right? And so the kids were swimming in the pool. It was January, but we had the indoor pool thing at the hotel. And so they were, doing that. Mom and Natalie were talking and I was looking for pictures. And then I was like, oh yeah. I was like, here's you and Ian. And she was like, she looked at me like I was freaking batshit crazy. And I was like, now I'm like, oh yeah, that does look a little stalkerish, right? And I was like, oh no. I found a blog, back in the day. And I mean, I was like, you're lucky to be alive. I had to deflect it, right? I was like, but now I get it. I mean, right? All these people's faces are in my phone. It's crazy. And I'm just like, it's no pun against you. It's nothing against you. I just want to know who's who is, where they come from, what brought them in, what brought him to Ian to marry Melanie. What was it? I want to know if Natalie feels like just their perspective on that person. But then again, we knew Lori, right? Yeah. She was great.
Yeah. Till she wasn't.
And I'm not going to promote that channel. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's part of the exploitation. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, and I'm not going to say it's backed off any. If anything, it's continued on, with just knowing who's around you, who people are. Look at Awen Reese. And I'm going to come out with the other ones. Not today, but it'll probably be the best video I've ever put together because I've just have collected, the evidence. I'm going to call it evidence. The receipts, if you will, of how many ways we've been exploited.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Well, yeah. And
don't go and support. I mean, everybody is in control of themselves. And I'm not anybody to tell you what to do or how to spend your hard-earned money, or I'm nobody. I mean, I'm just me. And I can only tell you from my perspective and what I see. And you can do what you will, you take it or leave it. That's how I am. If you tell it to me, is that I'm not going to take it literal. It's just my opinion from my experience. This is what I see. This is what I experience. This is what I've learned, and I want to find ways to prevent this from happening to the next families, to the next victims, to the next. There's so many layers to this. It's crazy. It's too much work for one person to do. And not saying I'm doing this by myself. I know Mom and them, everybody has their own way, right?
Right.
I don't get to tell them how to grieve or how to cope. Same. I don't get to tell other people who are involved in this, who are co-victims in this. I don't get to tell them how to grieve. I have to remind myself of that. I'm like, oh, you don't get to tell them how to grieve. Because Jen told me nobody gets to tell you how to grieve.
I mean, it's gospel.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tina. That means so much coming from you. It really does. Thank you.
Like you said about the layers that are involved with this, I
run that over.
I had so much research with just that other psycho weird ass family,
and some.
I never even. But I really don't do that to anybody that I cover. I mean, I don't go after victims' families and
right. You don't even collect money. You are like, nope. And
no,
I mean, I respect that. And I want you to, I'm like, do it. Y'all know how much I struggled with it too, because I didn't want it to. I'm like, how gross does that look? But the realist in me is like, but it takes money to make money. You have to do things in order to make the world go round. That is logic. That is KJ coming out of here. Right now. Logic and common sense. And that's my Uncle Charles. That's my mom. That's the family I was raised in. Even though Mom probably was like, Kresha never paid attention. I did. I paid attention, and I had really good teachers. I had really good examples, and that's my family. And so I come from that. And so I am about that. I'm not about, and it's for the right reasons. It's not to pad my pockets. I don't, trust me, if I could trade, Mom and them said it best. Larry, I think it's when I say they, Mom or Larry, they both. Yeah, if that. Time is, you can't put a monetary value on my time for sure. And that's how I treat everybody else too. Y'all invest your time here. You invest your time, your emotions, everything into us, into this case, into these victims, into Tylee, JJ, Charles, Tammy, Joe, all, and victims before them. And we're trying to prevent it, victims after that, right? That is the true, concept, I guess you would say. And I mean, not talk about it, like, you got to be about it. Like, it's just, I don't know where to start. And then again, I was watching that Illuminati channel about nonprofit organizations and how they really are being used not in a good way. And that, so I'm just like, well, what's the best way now? Now I'm like, oh God, So what is the best way? I don't have time to really whole ass research one thing. I have to orbit. I basically do an orbit, and I'll go from this to that, and I'll make my rounds. Mom even joked with me one time about how I clean. She's like, you go like this and that. I'm up and down, and I go around. And she always taught me to never walk into a room or leave a room empty-handed. Always pick something up, And so now I'll have, like, earlier I had my pencil sharpener. I was like, why the hell did I bring this? So, I mean, there's that. But I mean, I get what the concept is you're already going that way. You may as well pick up that and throw it in the trash. on your way, right? So just being productive while you're already doing something. And so I clean the same way. Well, that is exactly how I work. Also, I have to, because my mind is so attention deficit that I have, if something catches my attention, then I'm off to that. And that's why I didn't send that email, you know? Um, but that I always come back to it. I will. It's just, it's a lot to have to take care of. It's a lot. And I don't want to ever offend anybody. Like if I don't get back to you or I'm not able to comment in the chat, I love reading them when I do go. I just know that I will evolve that way. I will make my round. And I see it, and I print a lot of them out. And one day, you know, it's like I like a physical copy of things. I like things like I don't trust the cloud. I'm like, what is it?
See,
You
I
know?
don't. I mean, and that's why my phone's out of memory because
Right. That's I have 3 devices. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mom's good at she's good at multitasking, and I'm not. Like I can't listen to you. I can pretend I am, but that doesn't mean I'm comprehending it. You know, like I'll listen. The TV will be on, and I'll have it on something, so I'm not necessarily focused 100% on it. I'm pulling a Melanie Gibb right now. Not 100%. It's like 99%.
I heard like 4 or 5 years ago, or it might have even been longer than that ago, but I don't even know who it was that said it or what they were talking about, except for they said that it's been proven that it's not possible to multitask because it means something is not getting done 100%.
Right.
I don't know.
I wonder. That is pretty cool. I can't research it right now though, because I can't research it 100%. I can just kind of. It's like I have all these remnants of this trail of pictures, screenshots. I always bookmark and add them to my read list. Then I've changed devices, and then I'm like, I know I have that, and I'm like, it won't upload or whatever. There's always something. It's not. It is very difficult research, Robbie. Very. They have everything. Oh Lord, do you see that? I don't ever see it in the cloud. I understand that they have it, and I get what you're saying. And yes, they do. There's so much more to this that we don't even know. But I guess this is my way of coping. You know, I do want to, and as I'm going, now that I'm working through this trauma, and I mean, it is a process. It wasn't just that. I mean, I've been through some things, you know, in my past that are pretty tragic, or painful, or loss, or just whatever. And it just, you know, yeah, I'm not comprehending. So I just, yeah, basically, there's just so much to this. There's so many layers, and it's just my way of coping. And I'm not, like I say, it's may not be right. In others' eyes, it may not be the way that they do things or grieve or handle things. But this is my way. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's mine. And I know I've tried from the beginning to turn it into constructive and not destructive. I've been destructive. Trust me. That's my mom. You know, I have been a pain in her ass. And I've learned from that. And I will constantly, I pray to God that I learn, continue learning every day. And I love that I have failed and made mistakes. I don't love it, but you know what I mean? I know I'm real with myself. I have made mistakes. I have been a crappy person. I have done the worst of the worst. Well, besides Lori and Jen. I ain't never red rummed anybody. Anyways. But you know what I mean? Like, when you're in denial, you're right. You're cheating everybody. You're cheating yourself. when you don't just own up to it. My mama taught me, can it eat you? Your problem, your issue, whatever's boggled you down. And sorry. Anyways, whatever's boggled you down, whatever is just eating at you, just think to yourself, can it eat me? And when my mama told me that, I was like, that's kind of weird. First off, then, they're wise. They really are wise. And so, no, it cannot eat me. And therefore, I'm okay. Like it's not going to consume me. Woo. All right. Face it head on, straight on. And it is what it is. There's nothing you can do to change the past, good or bad. And just know that every decision we make in life, every choice, every decision, good or bad, has positive and or negative reaction, feedback, consequences.
Every action has a reaction.
Well, no. That's another thing. As I used to entertain every action. Like if somebody, like your Twitter thing, if that were me years ago, I was impulsive. I was like Johnny on the spot. I was not thinking, and I would just fire off, not even thinking of my part in it, or should I even entertain that? Like now I'm just this, but this has taught me this too. This is really, something's really got to piss me off, and then the switch flips, and then I'm like, okay, game on, which I was telling y'all about earlier. That's the exploitation part of this. That has flipped my switch, and I've just been trying to be. I'm not. I mean, I won't sit there and take the high road. I will turn the cheek, but I'm tired. My cheeks hurt.
All right.
You're not going to run over,
Well, nope. Just like, Friday night. I mean, it was so ridiculously asinine for Mark Means to come out on Twitter and say that. I mean, I know I'm a knucklehead. Anybody that knows me,
but you're working on it. You really
and
are.
I am. I'm growing because, and I knew that
every action doesn't deserve your reaction.
Right, but for him to say that Lori didn't have an arraignment, and how can she go to trial for it and all that? I told him, you put her in the hospital before that she could have one.
It's called tactic, strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, and he came back and said some stuff. Said I was giving him too much credit for that decision. Hang on, let me pull it back up again real quick.
Yeah.
You're giving me way too much credit here. The IDHW, by court appointment, made that call solely by and through the court order. I know that to be a damn lie. The IDHW.
Who are you talking about? That's you saying that?
No, that's Mean saying it to me.
Okay, so okay, now I know. Go ahead.
So he said, and through the court order, it's obvious IDHW are not a fan of myself. No favors for me, I assure you. And that's when I put the kibosh on it. When he mentioned IDHW, that was a line that I wasn't expecting him to go to. So
you never know what you're going to get.
I told everybody, do not ask him anything case specific. Because like I said, you don't know if he's trying to bait somebody.
Monkey wrench.
To blow the whole case up.
That's the only defense they have is technicality. In my opinion, that is the only thing. Is just finding a little crack.
There was, and Leanne, you talked about the YouTubers Because Leanne blew him up too. I mean, she straight blew him up. She
I haven't seen Leanne in a while.
said, she said, "Why did you have a YouTuber doing your work for?" And
I'm gonna say
I mean,
YouTubers because it's plural. But anyways,
and Liz got on him too, and Katarina.
Johnson, huh?
Yeah, Katarina said Lori will get her a trial, but there is so much they have against her. She will be locked away where she belongs. No more playing Chad's got us. And Mark responded to her and said, I'm not so sure. She never even got an arraignment before trial set. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right, period, to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation. And then that's when I said the part about him having her put into the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Great tactic. Right there on her son's birthday.
And he told Liz, he said, it's human to be angry, upset. If I may suggest, which don't,
He may
because
not. He has
back.
this constitutional right to shut
Yeah.
up.
This is him. I often view cases that cause extreme emotional responses as a test
In the
to
civil
my,
court?
as
Sorry.
as a test to my commitment to the Constitution and its protections. Litmus test, if you will, to see if I truly believe innocent until proven otherwise. Well, okay, just STFU, bruh. Just stop
Mm-hmm.
it. Stop playing.
This is Twitter. This was a Twitter showdown that happened between Eric, basically, and Mark Means Friday.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard of Pretty Little Lies and Alibis. Gigi and Fruit Loop talked about it.
he said. I said serious question for you.
This.
Yeah,
Oh,
serious question for you. How were you able to follow? And I was actually genuinely asking because I didn't know. And since he had chopped it up with me a little bit on Twitter, on and off down through the months, I thought he liked my sense of humor, but apparently he doesn't. So,
only when it suits him, right?
I
Kind of
said,
birds of a feather flock together thing.
serious question for you. How were you able to file 9,008 motions, etc., but Archibald isn't? And he said, he came back and said, let's be fair. If it's a serious question, then use serious language, terms, and numbers. And he said, sound fair with a question mark. And I said, sure. Hang on, I'm
I
trying
just
to.
sent it to you, Mom. That way you can just see it for yourself. I was like, why am I trying to show it back up here? And I was like, let me just send
I
it to
said,
her.
sure. Not sure I have enough time to go back and count them all. And the other case was dropped, so I can't get a figure for it either. Serious enough? Question mark. And I said, if you're talking about lawyer language as the other language that you're talking about, I'm Google certified. And I said, serious enough. Then I said, amount of time or number of times you were disqualified, one. Serious enough? Question mark.
So we can Google this though. I know that you don't have to have a Twitter account. I learned that from the Chrisleys or whatever. Growing up Chrisley or Chrisley knows best. But you can like look online and you can find Twitter feeds. So I don't know. I've never done it, but I have a Twitter, but I haven't gone to look. So I'll probably do that maybe when we get off of here and check it out.
You know,
I won't hold nothing against you, Eric. I know you're doing it for the greater good.
that's about it. I mean,
But there's a lot to be said in those comments, right? That's where the meat and potatoes are in my mind.
I mean, really, there is and that's why I shut it down because he made the comment, and I'm looking for it right now, or he put this tweet out when he said that about him not or I was giving him too much credit for having her put in a hospital. The reason I shut that down was because it actually made sense what he said. Because remember, Rob, adamantly objecting to her being seen for competency. And then, like, what, a day or two later, Rob dropped that objection. What are you doing?
I don't know. Huh?
What are you doing? Looked like you had your Madonna.
Am I frozen or something? I'm sorry. I didn't know how to Bluetooth it, and Jason's sleeping, so I had to Wi-Fi it, so I'm probably freezing up a lot. Sorry. I like when I get stuck with this or some stupid position, and I'm like, oh my God.
He was, and J-Lum, even when he first tweeted, J-Lum even retweeted it and said, Lori Vallow's
former attorney.
Yeah, former attorney. Sounds off about something. I forget exactly what J-Lum said, but I mean, it's just it was just when he started bringing up the IDHW stuff.
I put the like, you don't get to talk about that. Means you don't get to talk about that. You don't get to talk about nothing.
Yeah, because he asked Leanne. He straight up asked me, Leanne, what question can I answer for you? And that's when I tweeted out, do not ask him case specific questions, because that to me, I read that as a straight bait tweet.
Yeah,
I could be 1,000% wrong.
But then you can also counteract that with your own bait. I don't know. I'm not. Oh, I've lived a very sneaky life. I didn't like that person. You know, that's not a good person to be. Just saying. I'm old me would have been like, oh yeah, I'm going in.
It was just so uncalled for, and honestly, just like we've already said, man, fade to black and go away. Fade to black and go away. Stop coming on Twitter. You're not on the case anymore. Stop coming on Twitter at Court TV, who never has at any time ever responded to anything that Mark Means has to say on Twitter. I know he got some TV time with him and whatnot, and back when he was on the case, but I mean, there's just like Friday night. I have to believe the man was drunk. For him to be that ballsy, to put that tweet out there.
Yeah. What is he doing when he's sitting at a bar next to a guy or whatever? You know what I mean? Enter your scenario.
Well, exactly. I mean,
that's just really gross, though, isn't it? I mean, not that the victim, from the victim's perspective, which nobody really focuses on that. It seems that they get lost in all this.
Exactly.
And I understand that. And Anthony Estes said, I miss your older videos. The ones those were my emotions, and they were emotional. That was me trying to humanize them, because they were human lives and they were important to us. We love them. We miss them. And so Lori and Chad and their ilk or whatever, their peeps, like-minded people peeps, they did so much damage. They dehumanized every freaking one of them. They changed their identities. They took that completely off the table. That was gone. And then I don't know, with Anthony, I'm just kind of going back to Anthony, that I miss making those videos, because I was able to feel things through that. Now I'm having to, like I said, defend my family. I'm protective of my family.
Right.
Now, I never really thought I was. Again, I've been a crappy person. you know. I've been like, yeah, I don't want to be around my family. No. Well, why? Because I was not doing the right things, you know. And so, anyways, it's like I'm protective now, and it sucks that it took this for me to realize that. That's okay. I mean, that's kind of how God works. If I would not have learned anything from this, then that would be in vain. That would be bad. We're supposed to learn from this.
Well, I mean, hey, staying silent, not learning from it,
Yeah.
all that's doing is making it.
What does it do for them? And that's I've really and this is how it goes in my head, because I made that vow, that promise to my uncle Tylee and JJ, that I would not stop. And I mean it. I will not stop until everyone who is involved is held accountable. And it looks like I got a lot of work, right? Right. Because it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And who knows? They could be. I've got to also figure out how to make them accountable for the using that juju, that glee, whatever, roogaroo shit, you know. And I started. It's really. I've been on this freaking mind. You know, you can fill in the F word on that, because you know it's what I'm really saying. It's just. Like I say, it's so philosophical, it's so deep. And so I'm thinking of all these different ways of, well, why do we go to church? People go to church to be around like-minded people. Well, why do they say they can feel the spirit? You know, well, that's because there's a lot of people in there with energy, right? I would think. I don't know. That's just me. From my perspective, from going through this experience, from having to deal with these people, when there's that many people in a congregation, and or let's say the devil's whatever people, the bad people, the thought process going on in the church, in this church over here, is good energy, right? And then the one going over there in the Satanics church or whatever, it's probably not good, I would think, from what I've researched. Just saying.
Right.
So why do we believe in churches, but nobody wants to believe in this dark side? Nobody wants to acknowledge that this is fact and that's real, and that it does cause us to feel different. People can, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I've got to do a lot more research in this. How do we hold people like Zalema Pastinez, her daughter Kara, because she's also one of those, and I'm not going to call her, I don't really know, it's not a Wiccan, the people that prayed the way they did for my family.
Oh, they're talking about the Lifetime movie show. Okay.
When I'm talking, I'm not reading this for sure. But how do we hold them accountable? And the only thing that comes to mind for me is, this is the only time in my lifetime that I pray. I don't ever want this to happen again. This is the only opportunity for me to really drive this issue, that by them praying the way they did for JJ, Tylee, Charles, Tammy, and let's put Joseph in there too. Y'all know she assassinated his spirit. She killed that. If we have no proof, you know, for the murder part, I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I feel that she did take care of Joe, but I can't prove that.
Right.
So I always include him in this, because I mean, I don't even know if Uncle Charles's will ever be. I don't know if she'll ever have to answer that. So I lump them all together. I don't know why. but because they were victims, we're victims in that sense. I hate to say that, but we are co-victim because she stole these people. They snuffed them out. They took their lives. Allegedly. And I hate saying that, but I got to. Because they have so many rights. They have a lot of rights.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the, you know, it's what the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that, you know,
It
that's what
protects religion. And so we have satanic churches that are protected under this religious oh my God, the First Amendment. That's disturbing. And I bet nobody really thought about that when they, you know, because we just assume people are going to be good like us, you know, and that's what pisses us off when we don't see a rise out of them, when we don't see normal reactions. Where are your kids? That's great. When you see that shit and you're like, what the hell? Huh? You know, and you kind of like do the Rob Wood thing, huh? You know, what's wrong with this lady? What's wrong with these people? Why are they continuing to what? They're not missing to her because she misplaced them. Night, Mom. Love you.
somebody had asked a question here a little bit ago that I wanted to at least.
You're right, Little Brands. I bet the Satanic Church would do. They probably would, from what I've seen. They do tend to stand up. You're right. Oh my God, I never thought of it that way, but yeah. Yes, y'all are smart. And yeah, Tina, it sucks. It really does. So how long do we think this is going to go on? How long are we going to have to sit here and hold our tongue and say allegedly? And I haven't caught myself in I went back and looked at some profile or whatever I did, and I worded it and I put allegedly murdered, and I was like, I wrote that wrong. They were murdered. You know, I don't have to say allegedly murdered. They were murdered. That's fact. I know that, yeah, I can go into detail, but I'm going to try not to. I'm trying to respect that my mom is in here.
That's a phenomenal question, Carrie.
Really morbid. I can be morbid, and you know, I know the kids didn't just go bury themselves.
Oh, she going to bed night, Kay?
Love you, Mom. Love you, Larry. Love you, Ash.
Yeah, say hi to Larry for me, please. I hope he's doing all right.
I love them. I mean, it really made me snap. Both my best friends that I grew up with, they lost their moms, you know, or as we were growing up. And they were like second moms to me. And me and my mom were always like this, okay? Butt heads, it's what we've always done. But this just made me really appreciate that I do have my parents. And I don't just have Larry's my bonus dad. He's a blessing. I mean, he's my dad. And then I had two other stepdads. And I mean, so it's like, what's wrong? You know, it was unique in my situation because I had more people that loved me, more people to love back. I mean, and I'm blessed in that sense. That's how I look at it. I mean, I'm blessed to have so many people, so many different perspectives, from old to young, male, female, you know, influence and everything. Being raised in the time I was raised in, I'm absolutely blessed in that sense. And I just don't want to take it for granted. I don't want to take my parents, my loved ones for granted, because you never know when somebody's praying them away. And we're all going to die one day. That's actually when I had my first panic attack. I remember I was 15. I had my first panic attack and I didn't know what the hell was going on. But I looked at a picture of myself. I know, right? But it's like, it's like you, for a moment, you actually see that I don't know. I don't really know what to call that, but it's like I really saw my reflection. I saw myself in that light or whatever. And I was just thinking, I thought to myself, like, you're going to die one day. And I mean, I was like, oh no. And I had panic attacks ever since then. Now, I'm not saying every panic attack. Not every panic attack is like that. Just, I have severe anxiety disorder, and I have some pretty bad panic attacks. And I've been in the hospital many times because I don't know how to ground myself. And people are like, well, do jumping jacks and I'm like, why didn't I think of that? I will do anything. I swear to God, I will do anything to not ever have a panic attack again. But it's not about that. It's not, and I appreciate that when people offer advice, but you're just like, no, that's not how this is. That's not how this works. So people who don't really experience them to that, oh, thank you, Candace. I love y'all.
I know you don't, so I shouldn't ask. So when I had my first panic attack, it was 10 years. I'd been working at the prison. I was standing at the appeal gate outside the jail hall. It was after they, either before they go eat or after they went and ate. No, it was after they got, when it was going back to the block. That's when they got their meds. So an officer had to stand there and watch them, make sure they didn't cheat pills. And so I was there that morning doing that. And I'm telling you right now, it was the absolute, well, no, I won't say that because actual pain is worse, but it was something just hit me, and that nurse, because I kind of fell into the gate because she was behind bars, so they can't steal meds and whatnot. And I collapsed into the bars, and she said, "Are you okay?" Because she said, "You look bad."
And so when you hear that, right, it makes you like really freak out.
Oh, I thought I was having a heart attack.
Yes. Yep.
Hell, I got put in the hospital for like 5 days from it because of it. They never did. My doctor that I had at the time, and I'm getting completely off script here, but
it's okay.
I'll shorten it up. But my doctor at the time, he kept saying that I was just dehydrated because I worked rec. I was out in the sun all day, and
possibility.
He kept saying that I was dehydrated.
4
days into me being in the hospital, I gained 8 or 10 pounds from the liquids they had been IVing into me.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I still to this very second, I can't explain to you that feeling.
Loss of control, no control. You don't know what's happening. You can't verbalize it. And like, I can't talk when I'm I don't want to. And so I'm real snappy. It sounds like I'm snappy, but I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is hell. It is like your own imprisonment in your head. I swear. Oh God. Not be understood is like insult to injury. Like people thinking that you're just doing it for attention or something, and you're just like, I freaking wish.
Yeah. I mean, it feels. I told my sister, it feels like when I close my eyes, it feels like I'm falling off a ledge or falling off a building, or
you're reaching and
and
not
it's like,
to grab anything,
and it's like it's a spasm. I mean, I'll roll over here on the couch to go to sleep, and I mean, this still happens this very day.
I wonder. Go ahead.
And I mean, I'll close my eyes and it'll be fine for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden there's this fear. It feels like, or it just pops into my eyes that I'm falling. and I start jerking, and after a couple seconds or whatever, I snap out of it. But my whole point of that was, it is not a joke. It is not fun.
People are making it up.
I had people apologizing to me, saying that I'd fell out because I didn't want to work with the female co-worker who had just bid into that job where I was.
Just walked out if I didn't want to do that, right?
That was. I
don't have to pretend. I don't have to be like Lori and be like, I've had fake cancer, so I can give JJ a K. And whose idea was that anyways? Lori's or Melanie Gibb? But anyway, right. You don't have to make something up in order to not be accountable, right?
Right.
And so you didn't make a panic attack happen or choose to feel that way to avoid, deter, or malinger.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean, it's no fun, man. It is no fun. I mean,
it's different for people, it is. It's different for people. And it's really good. I mean, I hate that I'm seeing so many people say me too, me too, me too. But at the same time, it makes me feel really relieved to know that people understand, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I've never had a seizure, but I don't feel like that. I just feel like I don't know. It's the most, and it could be a day long. It could be easy for me to just, say, you're not going to die. You're not dying. I'm not scared to die now, for sure. Ever since everything happened with Charles, Tylee, and JJ, and I got over my fear of flying. I've gotten over a lot of things. I'm not scared of that anymore. I don't know. And so like, I'm all like investigating, and I've been researching these multiple mortal probations, which goes into what, I start, well, what do I feel? And what do they think over here? It's just like, it's endless pit. It's an endless rabbit hole, but it feels good to be with people who understand. So thank y'all. Thank you for sharing yours too.
Right.
It's such a helpless feeling sometimes. A lot of times you feel very alone, and you're like, you want to be around people, but then you don't. I don't know what I want when I'm having a panic attack. I try to ground myself as much. I tend to go down. Like, oh, don't take that wrong. Me and my sense of humor. But like, to go put my feet in the grass, or I don't know, just I don't know. I kind of go up and down, all around. It just depends. It depends on the panic attack, which I don't even want to say it. Knock on wood. I haven't had one in a severe one in a while. I can kind of feel when they're coming on, and I try to. That's all.
Medicate accordingly.
That's the time I take my medication. I don't take it every day. Every day I take it as needed. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head, because that's exactly what I do. I mean, I
don't want to depend on it. I don't want it to lose its effects, right? Because it is the only thing that will, for sure. And I mean, I was like, well, what if it's like placebo effect? What if it's over fear? You know what I mean? Like, what if it's something that I can control? And I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I can, but I don't understand. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Is that part of like I know I've always had the fight or flight or freeze. I tend to freeze. I'm like, I don't know how to react. So I just kind of, I don't know. I definitely have some work to do. And I've definitely been working through this on my own, through and with y'all. Panic at the disco. right? Where's Jean?
That's
Where's Jean?
that's. I mean, there's people. All those things that they're saying in the chat. They're spot on for mine
No.
because it is like a disco ball for me, and I have had what I think was a seizure because I fell completely out of my shower one day.
Oh wow.
Felt
What is it? Vertigo? I don't. And Larry has vertigo, but I've never experienced it. Or I don't want to sit here and diagnose it. You know, we all diagnose ourselves, right? We live in that age. But yeah, WebMD was like my enemy in the beginning. You know, I'm like, I had to have a breast exam, or it wasn't not a breast exam, but what do they call that? They found a knot in my breast. What do they call it? A mammogram. A mammogram. Okay. Well, this is right after Uncle Charles was murdered. And I didn't want to even tell Mom. Like, I was like, oh my God, I've got to go and have a mammogram. I really want my mommy, right? Right. And I'm blessed to have my mom. Right. But in the same sentence, I didn't because of Lori. That's what I'm saying. It's impacted everything down. It's taken her away from me. I'm going to speak for myself. We're not the same. Emotionally, mentally, and it's good and bad, you know, because it brought us closer together, more thoughtful of other people in our family, and more sentimental, I guess, in that way. But I don't know. I can go on and on. It's just I didn't want to tell her because I didn't want to bother or bog her down or make her worry in any way. And I was like, well, but I need to tell her because she needs to know. And so right before, you know, I let her know, and she said into a text, you know, she was like, no, you're going to be fine. She said, because there's no way God, you know, can, I mean, it's an impactful statement, really, when I go back and think about it now. Like, no, because God's not going to he's not going to allow that to happen. Right. And then we hadn't found the kids yet at that point in time. But only have 11% chance of having breast cancer, and that was good. That was clear. It hurts. It hurt though, but that's okay. But it's crazy. It's like that. So
I think we put those documents up yet.
Yeah, we'll get to that because we do need to wrap it up. It's 2 hours to stream. Y'all like my background?
I was going to try to block the guy's name out and the names.
Just overlook them.
Of the people, but I mean, it is public knowledge. I mean, anybody can do what I did, call in and request them. So I'm gonna make it bigger.
Right?
I'm gonna make it bigger. Can you all see that? Hit one in the chat if you can see it in the chat, please.
I can see it. I mean, I see Lori, and then, you know, I get creative with my little Canva app.
That's pretty cool that she's staring at that, isn't it?
Yeah, just snubbing her nose up at it like she does everything else.
Okay, they can see it. So this guy, this Diaz guy, just a short back story about him. He was going around stabbing people just for craps and giggles.
It's and giggles.
Yeah.
Where was this at? Is this Idaho?
Yeah, it's Idaho.
All right.
This is the order terminating commitment. And it says, the court heretofore entered an order of commitment of this defendant on December 12, 2018. Based on the report of Dr. Tashina Keith, psychologist at State Hospital South, that's where Lori's at. Oh, wow. The court hereby terminates the above referenced order of commitment pursuant to Idaho Code 18212. In this regard, the court hereby finds that the defendant is fit to proceed, and this case shall hereupon resume. To this end, the court hereby orders the Ada County Sheriff's Office to take custody of the defendant and to transport the defendant from State Hospital South back to the jail to await further proceedings in his case. Um, and if everybody wants to have a look at who all was involved in making that decision, the deputy GA, the Ada County prosecutor,
Oh,
Ada
the
County,
same county?
Ada
Like,
County.
oh, yeah, Ada County is Boise. Never mind. I'm like, what? Still.
So you'd have I get whoever the deputy attorney general is in Idaho.
Yeah.
It might still be that person, but
Um,
when we see hers, it's going to say Fremont
yeah.
or Madison County prosecutor or Fremont prosecutor's office, and then we have Archibald, and then I'm assuming the Region 4 and State Hospital South and Ada County Sheriff's Office. So, and that's what was interesting. This one is the order to transport for this guy. Again, this isn't Lori, y'all. This is
not Lori. This is an example.
right.
Okay. Let everybody know. I'm reading chat, but I don't want to put it up because it blocks it.
Okay. Order to transport defendant for further proceedings. Tashina Keith, psychologist at State Hospital South, heretofore filed a report to the court in this case dated April 4th, 2019. According to the report to the court, the defendant is now fit to proceed. Now, this is where I just read it today. I actually paid attention and read it. This really, really struck me.
And y'all, this again is not Lori. All right.
Right, it isn't Lori. But it says, however, before terminating the order of commitment of the defendant, the court hereby orders the Ada County Sheriff's Office to take custody
That's a
of
good
the.
question. I'm just saying, let's keep that one in the reserve because go ahead. But I want to talk about.
I can't see it.
I'm just going to say it. If one can be mentally ill and found competent, don't you think their HIPAA rights would take precedent? That's a good question, but I'm gonna hide it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Their HIPAA rights are always going to be protected. Is that? Do I understand that right?
I guess. Let me go back. If one can be mentally ill and found competent, because let's say she has an ongoing disorder, then she'll be taking medicine in the jail, but she can aid in her defense. Don't you think their HIPAA rights would take precedent?
They do, because I requested a second time to try to get this guy's medical file, and they wouldn't. It has to be released by a judge.
No, Terry, just hold on to that. We'll jump up and down as soon as she's competent. I know. I wish we would have watermarked it or something, but hey, we're here and we're adults and we can just know that it's not about Lori. It's just
we're here. We're here. We're very queer.
Save that jump though, sister, because we will do it one day, hopefully soon. But yeah,
says, Tashina Keith filed a report to the court on April 4, 2019. According to the report to the court, the defendant is now fit to proceed. However, before terminating the court of commitment of the defendant, the court hereby orders the Ada County Sheriff's Office to take custody of the defendant and transport the defendant from the hospital back to the jail. In order to, this is where, I was like, wow. And in order to appear before the court and counsel of record. Based on the outcome of the appearance, the court will either terminate the order of commitment of the defendant, or in the alternative, order the Ada County Sheriff's Office to transport him back to the state hospitals or back to that hospital. So you was talking about all the steps that it takes, and then there's something else I want to talk about. You were talking about all the, I mean, if you look down here, look where it says copies to, it literally says transport team. So I was like, when I seen it, I was like, wow.
Am I muted?
I hear you now. Yeah.
I gotta learn the button on this thing. I was like, oh, I don't remember. But yeah, that's crazy.
So in this guy's particular case, no,
I
we
didn't
don't
let you know.
we don't know if it's going to, this is exactly how it's going to work with her or whatever. But what struck me was he had to go physically to the court, make an appearance in front of the judge, and prove that he was competent before the judge even signed off on it.
Yeah. And see, like, I agree with you, Bo Peep. Judge Boyce is the only one that would know, right?
Him in the hospital.
Yeah. But I mean, he's basically her, not advocate, but her parent.
Right.
You know what I mean? In charge of her healthcare. That's why he had to sign that order forcing her to take meds.
Yeah. Right. Right. And that's the other thing. We never did actually see that document, did we? We just seen it in the comments that it had been ordered, didn't we?
I don't know.
The comments on the portal.
I'm not able to just pinpoint stuff like that. Not now. Used to. I do, but if I saw it, or remember it, then I know that I saw it somewhere. I'm never able to really tell you where I got it. Just like I remember, because this is part of my coping, I guess. Yeah, and I did see that Cards and Cavaliers, and I mean, wouldn't that'd be a question that you just asked Eric? Eric, that would be a question that you just asked. I forget what it was now because I've moved along.
For me?
Yeah, I forget what you just said, or we were talking about, and Cards and Cavaliers would be able to glean on that. But I forgot what it was now, so never mind. I don't know. It's come and go. I must be tired because I'm mentally. Oh, Jason, that's so sweet.
Ah, Jay Bird.
He's in the room. He made me an office in the spare bedroom. So see, now I don't have to lock him out of our room. Anyways, love you, babe. Anyways, I don't know what they're answering. Vertigo. An inner ear imbalance that the doctor can fix by doing a maneuver, turning your head to get the tiny calcium crystals back in balance. And B, is that in regards to what Eric may be experiencing? That falling feeling? Because that's why Larry couldn't get out of bed. Thank God. That's why Larry I'm not thank God that he has vertigo, but thank God he couldn't go that day to have to identify JJ, and Brandon came in. I think that was the grace of God. but that's something that he carries, and
Yeah,
he feels guilty
absolutely.
that he's not the one that went and did it, and so I don't get to tell him how to grieve, right? And so that's something I don't know. I see it as a blessing. We all see it as a blessing that he didn't have to do that, but that's something that he
Oh,
carries.
absolutely. I thought you were talking about Brandon because that's
Well,
why
no,
I
I was
said
talking about Larry. Larry had vertigo, and Aunt B is saying it's vertigo, maybe possibly to what you were saying your
oh, okay,
your
okay.
experience was. Maybe not a maybe I'm sure the dehydration and maybe could have caused you to have a panic attack. I don't really know, but oh, and look, Kathy says, oh, that is the Epley maneuver and only works on positional vertigo. It can also be caused by an excessive amount of earwax. I have positional, and Tom has the other. Oh, at least y'all, yin and yang, yin and yang. I'm joking, just trying to make light of it. I've never experienced it, but I really don't think I want to. But maybe something to look into, Eric. It could be
Yeah,
vertigo, and obviously there's certain kinds. And that's what I was saying. Larry he experiences vertigo, and so that's why he was not able to be there that day. He couldn't get out of bed that day to go and identify JJ's remains.
yeah.
How I found that.
That's the part I heard, and I thought you was talking about Brandon having to live with going and identifying
I mean,
JJ. I
no,
totally
you know
totally
me.
understood. Yeah, yeah.
I include it in everything. I just go on a tangent, but I apologize for that. I know I'm bad about it, but it just kind of, reminds me of things. This is my healing. This is the way I roll. You know that better than a lot. So, but that's something worth looking into, you know, and maybe it's something that you can really, get oh shoot, I almost removed myself from the stream. I meant to do that. Whoop.
Yeah, we need to say it again that those two documents that we had up, guys, that is not Lori's stuff. So all that was an example of what we might get to see when we get to see it, if we get to see it. So don't anybody be taking that and
Yeah. Oh, no.
on another channel and saying this is
You're on.
Lori, you know, transport order and termination of commitment. It's
Right.
not.
But we are praying for it the good way. And Brandon is an angel. Absolutely. I have a mad respect for Brandon for doing that. Wow. I got to meet Brandon, and he's just a down to earth dude.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
you realize you were almost murdered? And he's just like, like just another day. He came to Lake Charles. I met him. I wanted to. I wanted to kind of feel him out, I kind of. I guess I'm an observer. I observe people, their mannerisms, the way they respond, react, how they handle themselves. Kind of, I think we all do that. If not, we should.
yeah, and that's the
Moral of the story.
I never used to be like that, but
Mm-hmm.
when you work in a prison setting for a while, I mean, now it's just like second nature to me now. I'm scooping everybody out. I'm scooping the whole room out, exits and just and it's asinine out of me to be still be doing that, but I just can't break myself from it now.
I mean, maybe it's just like me. Like I found my life's purpose in this, and I'm telling you, I've worked so many lines of work. I mean, behind a desk, a customer service, to working in a industrial plant. I mean, and I've also worked on Airbuses, freaking FedEx Airbuses, airplanes, huge cargo planes. And I mean, just never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. And then this happened, and it's like, okay, so this is my calling. This is my calling. This is what to do. This is
Right.
this is it. 40 years old. I was 41. And here, ta-da, here you go. And that's okay, because they're worth it. They're worth every minute of my time, my effort, my energy, my love, everything, because I gave them my word, and my word is my bond. I'm a woman of my word. So I will see this through. And I know that a lot of you guys are here doing the same exact thing right here in lockstep with me. And I appreciate that. They do. This is the best advocacy that we can do.
Yes.
For them to be their voice. Because they were silenced.
And you said it. You were asking earlier. What can you do? What can you do? What can we? You're doing it, hon. You're doing it, and you're rocking it. So
I don't see it, and I don't see it like that. Jason, he'll tell me, you realize what you're doing, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I'm not trying to be. I'm just, I don't know. This is just where I found put the little crack in the door, and I was like, okay, I'm coming in.
right.
I don't really know what I'm doing, and I've had to adapt and overcome. There you go. Those are two good words. Adapt and overcome steadily. Because the squeaky wheel is the one that gets oiled, right? So me, I'll eventually get there. Wherever God intends me to be.
All right.
And y'all are just those vessels also that are messengers for him. For Tylee, JJ, Charles, Tammy, and Joe. Y'all are all vessels and beams of light that get to go and share their story. God's army. Yes, 100%. I gotta go find something to eat too. I'm hungry.
Well, I got a dog waiting to go outside, so I'm going to bolt. But love you guys in the chat, and keep your phone on and close just in case, KK.
Monday morning. Anyways, thank y'all for being here. Thank you all for everything, for investing your time, energy, money, hard-earned money into my family, into us, into me. Thank you. I appreciate that with all my heart. And I love you all.
Not all.
See y'all next time. Love always wins. Always.